now available in paperback and e-readers, The Temptation of John Haynes. Give in to temptation and pick up this action-packed African-American paranormal romance. Get The Temptation of John Haynes in paperback and e-readers today. One of my viewers wanted to know if social justice warriors have ruined black activism. And the answer to that question is no, social justice warriors have not ruined black activism, because social justice warriors and black activists are basically now competing against each other for the attention of the organizations that they hope to get their goodies from. Now, when it comes to the social justice warrior, your social justice warrior on the outside looks like they're fighting for social justice when you hear them talking about their agendas on places like social media. And many of these social justice warriors, as they sit there and they talk about things like diversity and inclusion, this would make you believe that these individuals are fighting for black people. But in actuality, when it comes to the social justice warrior, the social justice warrior really isn't concerned about black people at all. No, the social justice warrior, what they want to do is go out here and make a lot of noise on places like Twitter in an effort to create a covert contract with these corporations by making a lot of noise to get their attention. And they're hoping that if they make enough noise railing against this company, what the company will do is go out here and hope to pacify them by going out here and giving them a donation to the nonprofit that they're running in some cases, if they have 501c3 status, or they're hoping that they'll be able to get some sort of job from that corporation. And that is very similar to what the black activist hopes to do when they go out here and make their protests. Now, your black activist, whenever there is a black person who is shot by the police or some white or non-black person, they will go out here and make a lot of noise about racial justice, but they are not interested in getting any racial justice for any individual. No, these opportunists, what they want to do is go out here and get the attention of politicians and corporations by staging a protest or having a rally, and they're hoping that by making a lot of noise, this will go out here and persuade the CEOs of that corporation to give a donation to their nonprofit organization, or offer some of the members of their organization jobs in their organization. So in the case of both the social justice warrior and the black activist, what they are doing is indirectly competing against each other for jobs and donations, and neither one of these individuals is interested in going out here and helping black people at all. No, when it comes to your social justice warrior, yes, they'll be out here with their multicolored hair on Twitter, railing against the patriarchy and railing against whatever agendas they have with the cis white males. But many of these individuals, if they get an offer from those same corporations, they are going to take that offer and take that job. Or if they get a sizable donation to a 501c3, if they have one created, they will go out here and take that money from that same corporation run by those cis males. That's what the social justice warrior will do. And when it comes to the black activist, they also will go out here and take whatever is offered to them as related to a donation to their 501c3 nonprofit, or they will go out here and ensure that some of their members will get jobs in that organization. And while these guys at the SJWs and these black activists make a lot of noise, it is easy to pacify them and hush them up, because the only reason why they rail against these corporations is not because they want change. No, what they want to do is actively get the attention of these corporations, and they want to go out here and get a paycheck for themselves. And that is how your social justice warrior and your black activists are not really doing anything to empower black people. And most black people who are about black empowerment, we know that when it comes to the activists, they are not really actively looking to empower black people. No, the social justice warrior and the black activist, yes, they'll use the same talking points, but they are, again, all about getting their money from these organizations, and they're not about getting any sort of tangible results as related to the things that they talk about. Yes, the social justice warrior will talk about, oh, they want to see more black people on the job, but we don't ever get to see many black people working anywhere outside of the handful of black bootlicks that are out here. I mean, an example of this is over at Marvel Comics, where we have all of these so-called social justice warriors working over at Marvel, but we don't see many black people working at Marvel Comics in jobs as writers or artists. No, we don't see many black people at Marvel Comics or any comic company, and many of these multicolored haired social justice warriors will talk about how they want to see more black people on jobs, but we don't see no black people on these jobs outside of the occasional black bootleg like a Ta-Nehisi Coates. Yes, they'll give a black bootleg a job passively to talk about diversity and inclusion, but aggressively they make very strong efforts to keep black people out of jobs in the comic book industry. So when you ever hear these social justice people talking about, oh, they want to help about diversity and inclusion, you have to look at their results. And when you look at their results, they have nothing more than token race swap characters and no real black people employed at the company. Yes, they'll put a black character who was a formerly white character in a lot of their books for a moment, passively, but aggressively. When you ask the critical question, how many black people work there, you really don't see many qualified black people there, and you don't see qualified black people there who are truly talented, because that would basically disrupt the entire grift that the social justice warrior has as related to their diversity and inclusion narratives. Because what the social justice warrior wants to do is make it look like they are doing a job for people, helping people out, when in actuality it's all about helping themselves. And they need the narrative of the victimization there so that they can continue getting money for themselves and pushing whatever money out of this company with their whole agenda. Now, the same thing goes on as related to many of these black activists who, whenever a black person is murdered by the police, they never really go out here and get tangible justice in the form of legal precedents like rogue police officers being convicted and race soldiers being convicted. No, we rarely get to see tangible results that create legal precedent that show that this legal precedent is going to set a standard that other judges have to follow. No, what the activists do is, again, make a lot of noise, but then we don't get any sort of tangible result. And we don't get a tangible result because these individuals, they need to have these things going on so they can go out here and continue getting their money from their 501c3 nonprofits and be able to get jobs for the individuals who they want to put in their companies to be their puppets. That's what they want as related to their agenda. And that's what these activists are all about, actively going out here and making noise at companies in order to get money from them, and actively going out here to get policies that will benefit them not even on the books. They don't even want policy. They just want to get money out of politicians to silence them. And again, they are active about trying to make noise, and what they want to do is grift to get themselves some hush money. Now, when it comes to your social justice warrior and your black activist, both of them are actively against foundational black Americans, and they're actively against foundational black Americans getting tangibles for themselves, because both the social justice warrior and the black activist are not about black empowerment, because black empowerment doesn't start with individuals looking to go out here and protest forum corporations. No, black empowerment starts at the black grassroots. And when it comes to black empowerment isn't about bootlicking for a job, which is what the social justice warrior and the activist are doing. No, black empowerment is about us taking our power, and we take our power from the black grassroots. And again, the black grassroots has nothing to do with activists, because we understand that the activist isn't about any sort of tangible result. No, as long as they get their money, they will just become silent on causes, and they will go out here and become meek as mice, like we saw with Al Sharpton after Joe Biden got elected. He wasn't about getting tangibles for black people like many of the Congressional Black Caucus or any of these other individuals. So most black people who are smart, they understand that activists aren't actively looking out for us. So most black people, we understand that if you want to get tangible, effective results, that's going to have to come from the black grassroots. And again, the black grassroots has nothing to do with activists. We understand that whenever these people are involved, they're not advocating for us. No, what they do is take a cause of people and use it to further their financing, and hoping that they can use this to get a donation or get some jobs. That's all they do. And again, this is exploiting people's deaths and exploiting people's tragedies. And that's what groups like Black Lives Matter go out here and do. They hope to use the caskets of black people as a staircase towards building their own wealth. So when it comes to the social justice warrior and the black activists, they are not actively about black people. No, the way we get to black empowerment is in the underground, through the black grassroots, through the word of mouth, through brothers and sisters, and us going out here and carving our own platform and our own agenda that is not run by any sort of leader, because we understand the agenda is more important than just one person, and that one person can easily be compromised, like many of the activists and social justice warriors are, because most of the activists and the social justice warriors, their whole narratives completely change once they start getting their money or their jobs. Once they start getting their money or their jobs, that's when they go from railing against the patriarchy to going out here and talking about how they love working at this company, or, oh, that company's a pretty good company. That's what happens with these individuals. And because they get their daily bread from these corporations in white supremacy, what they will do is start going out here and looking to go out here and sell their soap. So that's the difference. That's why your black activist and your social justice warrior are basically out here competing again for those same dollars. But the whole thing is, these corporations have plenty of money to pacify this handful of individuals. They have plenty of money to give many of these social justice warriors to go write these comics, which are basically money they're throwing away, because all they want to do is keep the trademarks, and they'll give these people $100 a page to make these comics as make work jobs, and they'll go out here and give these activists a couple of $1,000s, as they've got billions to give out, and these people will be glad to get their 30 shekels of silver to betray black people. And this is why black people have to go out here and start focusing on developing our own black agenda, because the only way we empower ourselves is if we go out here and start working to put ourselves first and create our own agenda, pick our own candidates, because we can't do anything with these activists, because these activists are actively against black people, and these activists, again, as I see it, are controlled opposition. They make it look like they're fighting for us, but in actuality, they're fighting for themselves. And these opportunists, what they want to do is go out here and be the one who makes a lot of noise to make it look like that something was done, but in actuality, nothing is done at all. So when it comes to the the social justice warrior and the activists, they don't really can ruin anything for black people, because we have nothing invested in them, because the real change starts with the black grassroots, and black people need to go out here and invest in working with the black grassroots, because it's the black grassroots that's going to make tangible change, and it's the black grassroots that understands that change is going to take time, it's going to be long and hard, and we're going to have to go out here and put our hands to the grindstone to get that work done. And you can't get work done with an activist, because the squeaky wheel is only going to get grease for itself. It's not going to go out here and rebuild a machine that will get us any sort of help, because there are squeaky wheels who want to be a part of the machine of white supremacy, whereas the black grassroots is about black empowerment and creating a machine that empowers black people. Now, I'm hoping that this answers the question for the viewer who requested this video. And if you want to request a video, you can send a donation of $15 or more to the Cash App by clicking the links in the description box. And if you want to pick up some of the positive black fiction on the SJS Direct imprint, like the ISIS series, the Esteem series, the John Haynes series, the books of the Spinsterella trilogy, my black sorority novel, The Thetas, or my black vampire novel, Eternal Night, you can find all of those books on Amazon.com in paperback and Kindle format. You can also find them at other online booksellers like Smashwords, the iBookstore, Google Play, and Barnes & Noble. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe.
Now available in paperback and e-readers, ISIS, My Sister, My Frenemy. It's a sister act as the goddess next door and the devilish diva team up in this action-packed ISIS series adventure. Get ISIS, My Sister, My Frenemy in paperback and e-readers everywhere.
Now available in paperback and e-readers, ISIS Legacy. The sorority secrets of the goddess next door are revealed in this all-new ISIS series adventure. Get ISIS Legacy in paperback and e-readers at online booksellers everywhere. Support black-owned and black-operated digital broadcast media. www.niceradionetwork.com. Nice Radio Network, broadcasting 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.